Hello to myself and everybody else. This is video 19. So far with this video, I plan on looking at I'm going to continue looking at the music and stuff that I made for my other games. Currently I'm on story 2, and for this I plan on looking at the music I made for the fire stage and for the first boss of the game, or first boss in story 2. So far, this right here is the fire stage, also known as the first stage of story 2. So I'm going to go ahead and let that play. Okay, that was for the fire stage. So far for this, the main thing I realize, and it's going to be just kind of like probably a tough thing for somebody else here, but really with this, I can tell a huge difference between hearing this with headphones on and without. Because with headphones on, this kind of sounds a bit more muffled. Like a lot of the channels kind of like I don't really know how to put it. Like, let me hear this part here. Right? It's like, so far hearing with headphones, it's like the mixing doesn't feel like 100% really good with it. Because one thing I do kind of remember is with a lot of this music, I ended up making it without headphones. Because I'll initially make the song, just be like, okay, make this, see if it sounds good and stuff, and then I'll put headphones on later to mess around with the mixing and the volume and everything and stuff like that. But yeah, and like I said, this is story 2, and I kind of learned around like I'm pretty sure I learned around this story, but then I kind of forgot, and then story 3 did the same thing, and then story 4 I was rushed. Again, that one's going to be just when I get to that one. But so far I just keep forgetting not to really like use headphones. I keep forgetting to use headphones when I'm making these, so that's already number 1. Use headphones when making this so I can actually hear what it sounds like, and most likely it'll sound better with headphones off. Because with this, it sounds good with headphones off. With headphones on, it can kind of sound iffy. So that's one major thing and stuff for that too. Well, as 2, the melody and everything, the main thing I did with this was how this sounds and everything. After hearing like the fire theme in story 1, that theme from story 1 I hated so much because it did not sound good, that for story 2 I made sure to try to make this sound way better. So with this, I basically made sure that the bass and everything and stuff for this, because I still went with the same theme of making it sound like an alarm and stuff too when making this whole theme. Like I said, a bunch of fire everywhere kind of makes it sound like an alarm's going off because there's a fire, so that's the whole thing with this. But I basically learned in story 2 from a bunch of trial and error is manipulating the bass way better. So I learned how to really use the triangle wave and the square wave with the bass and everything to make it sound like way better. Like basically, if I just turn this off and turn the melody off and just play the bass. Like with that and everything, It doesn't sound 100% perfect, but at least sound wise, it kind of at least stands out a bit more and everything. Because I learned how to like mix the triangle and square wave together, kind of make like a pretty average kind of sound. Just instead of before, it was kind of like just a one tone kind of thing. But I still have a problem with my melodies and everything like that too. Because with these, they still just like, because my melodies and everything stuff too, they still just kind of sound like an afterthought though. Like just the whole thing with that, like really hearing that on its own is not like super catchy or anything and stuff like that as well. Because in total, I really haven't made anything since maybe like the oh wait, no, I'm thinking ahead on something else, but I haven't really made a theme and stuff yet where it's like the melody on its own sounds really good, the bass on its own sounds really good. With this, I at least, at the very least, made something that sounded way better than Story 1 Fire Stage, which I felt better at. I felt like I had a better feeling on how the bass and stuff goes. I'm still doing my usual pattern of like make melody 1, then 2, repeat 1, and then make a 3 to kind of end it off, and then just kind of repeat that again and everything and stuff as well. And then from there, just kind of like use the other remaining numbers to try to just like switch it up and do something else. Like I still stick my same pattern and stuff with that too, but again, if I have to say overall with this one, it does sound better. Just the main takeaways and stuff from it is, one, just really mix my basses and everything, like my square triangle wave for the bass. Mix that together way better so it can have a good sound to it, as well as with the melody. Try to make this more catchy instead of just doing it as an afterthought just for sound to just be playing. Because overall, in the stage, it doesn't sound too bad. Hearing the whole song as a whole, not too bad. But it's still not a thing that's going to be super memorable. So that's the thing I really need to improve on and stuff from there. That's my main takeaway from this. But it doesn't sound too bad. It does sound better because I had more experience and more time doing this. So at least started learning stuff, working on this. But yeah, main thing with that too, just again, sounds pretty good. I still do have ways to go. So looking at the other song right now, this one is the boss theme for the first boss, or yeah, the first boss, basically the gas station boss of Story 2. So just go ahead and play that one real quick. Okay, so for this, the main takeaway and stuff I can take from this is, one, just hearing it again just reminded me that I definitely did have a hard time coming up with a theme for like some boss fights. Because one of my hardest things is coming up with a theme for bosses, trying to at least make it sound like a boss fight is happening rather than just sound like a stage or sounding really lax and everything. So for this, I definitely like try to emphasize that with the bass. Because just with the bass and stuff of it alone, just sounding like this does sound like pretty intense, specifically because I use the FM bass. The triangle wave I don't think really added like a ton to this. Like if I just turn this off and hear it again, okay, yeah, it actually did. It actually did add a lot to this. Just hearing it again with the triangle wave, yeah, at least add like extra like hit to it to make it sound like way more intense. So yeah, at least with that, because all the Story 2, I did say I at least learned how to utilize the triangle wave way better. or actually just learn how to utilize it, period, because I didn't use it whatsoever in story 1. Then story 2, I started messing around with that with the square wave bass, and it kind of went together well when I started manipulating it. Yeah, because even with that, I went back to story 1 and kind of like added the triangle wave, started messing with that with all the songs and everything as well. So that is definitely a thing I learned and stuff with this too, just how to utilize the triangle wave. But my takeaway and stuff from this is that, like, with the FM bass and stuff, that's pretty good for like a boss theme. But specifically for boss themes, I definitely just try to like make it sound more intense. So I do use a lot of like shorter notes and everything, a faster tempo and all that, and the drums I tend to use like this, where just like a lot of like, I actually don't know what those things called, like hats or whatever it is. Like, well, I can't really have to go through all those, turn the volume down. But the whole thing except like basically sound like a whole bunch of those, and it sound like hi hats or something is what it would be. But yeah, basically I just use a lot of those, and I just try to make the bass sound intense by using a lot of like short notes, fast tempo, and everything. And so far, again, the melody as well, also an afterthought where I was just like, okay, I just need to add something here for like a sound for melody, which you can hear if I just do that. Yeah, it's literally just noise that's there. Like, it's not catchy or anything, it's just a thing that's just there. Same thing with the bass, how I just have the notes like this and everything too. I'm just like, oh, I just need that intense hit just to like sound like a boss theme still. Just still a lot of trial and error and stuff like that too. Still wasn't perfect, but at least I got something. Just a main note I really need to give to myself is that this right here, this like chip noise, the 1/8 pulse and everything and stuff, I need to stop using this. Like, I badly need to stop using this. It sounds terrible. Because I'm pretty sure this is what I also used in, what was it? Pretty sure I used this in story 1, the third boss fight, where I just used it to extend the song, and it was still like this terrible high-pitched noise. Just, yeah, like, I don't know why I keep using that. I'm just trying to find an excuse to extend the song and make it sound different. It just, I really need to stop using this 1/8 pulse. It does not sound good. Or if I use it, try to make it sound like softer or something. Like, I need to mess with the settings more. It does not sound good mixed in with this. So at least one huge note to myself: stop using 1/8 pulse. If it does not sound good, I really need to stop doing that. 2, my boss themes, again, I can make these sound intense, but I really need to try to make these sound way more catchy and everything. Drums, same thing. Still try to like learn to mix those up, because I still keep using the same one stuff all the time. But the main thing about it is, again, this is from story 2, early boss and everything, and I'm currently working on story 5, so a lot of time to advance since then. Just really going back through memory lane, looking through all this and everything as well. But at least just really important things just take away from it as I go forward looking through these. But so far, this is it for these two. So to myself and everybody else, see you in the next one.